Rebecca Sides, Inchcape Mercedes-Benz Fleet Manager. Today we're filming the next episode in our official Inchcape Mercedes-Benz vlog series, today featuring the GLE. The model we've chosen is the GLE 350D, premium, with a 2987cc, 258 brake horsepower and 6-cylinder engine. A few more details on the spec of this car itself. As you can see, this one is white. It comes in two different options of paint. You can have polar white, which is the standard flat paint, or you can go for Designo diamond white, which is what this particular car is. That's a metallic paint, a lovely nice finish if that's what you prefer as an option. This particular car has the premium pack. Now, premium pack includes 360-degree camera, which is a function I'll talk you through later. Memory seats, again, we'll go through those options later. A full panoramic glass sunroof, which looks really, really nice with the white. And then the running boards, which you can see on the outside as well, helps you to get in and out. Now, if you want, you can upgrade to the Premium Plus package, which, as an addition to those items I just mentioned, also includes a Harman Kardon surround sound system and also full keyless go. Let's take a look inside. So, having read all your comments last time on the previous videos, what we really wanted to do was give you exactly what you want. You asked for some more images inside the car and a much wider angle, so that's what we've done. So to go through some of the things from the inside, as I said before, the specification on this car is really, really high. So let's break it down one by one and go through all the options. So two of the features that I mentioned before included in the premium pack are the panoramic sunroof and the 360-degree camera. So first of all, just to show you the panoramic roof, obviously quite self-explanatory, it's a big glass roof in the car. Just to show you how it works, we have a button up here. If you press it back once, and then the roof will open. You don't need to keep your finger depressed on it. And then to close it again, press it once and it will close. Also, if you want, you can have it just open, just a slight tilt, just so if you're driving along you don't want the full window open, if you just press it once and it will just open to tilt. And then of course as well, you also have a full sunblock blind if you want, which press and hold, let go, and then the blind will come across. So if it's at night and you want the car to be nice and cozy, or if it's too bright when you're driving, just press that and it'll come across. The second thing that we mentioned before is the 360-degree camera. Now, this camera is absolutely amazing. I'm used to driving big cars, as I've said on a lot of the videos, but being honest, spaces nowadays are a lot smaller. You're at car parks, etc., etc., so it's really handy to have this feature. Now, when you put the car into reverse, it will automatically come up on the dash. It's beeping, by the way, just because we're in the showroom. Won't normally do that. So as you can see, it comes up on the dash here. Now, we've got the receptionist over there busy working hard. And you can see completely the whole way around the camera. Now, what you can do is actually change this view as well to a full 360 or back to a 180. So it's entirely up to you. You can have a split screen, or you can have a full screen. But this is really, really beneficial for if you've got a larger car such as this, parking in tight spaces and just want to be able to make sure that you don't bang or knock your car. Just coming up to the roof, just to talk you through the lights standard on the car. You've got reading lights for both the driver and passenger. You then, of course, have got a rear light, which you can turn on or off. Something here which I always forget to do, whenever I get in and out of the car at night, I always like to have the car nice and bright, so sometimes I actually switch it to fully on, which means that the lights will always be on, they'll stay in the car and won't delay, the time delay won't switch it off. Of course, make sure that you always switch those back on to automatic so that the battery doesn't run flat. And of course then you can switch the lights off if you don't want to have the lights on coming on at all in the car. As I went through before, you've got your panoramic roof button here, and also a nice little nifty holder for your sunglasses. I mentioned before about the Premium Plus package, which this particular car doesn't have, but you can upgrade to. Now, the features which you get when you go to Premium Plus, as again I mentioned before, are a full keyless go system and then also a Harman Kardon surround sound system. Now, the Harman Kardon surround sound will take you to 14 speakers in the car. So for those music lovers out there, it really does give you an extra amazing experience when you're in the car listening to your music. But just something on the keyless go, which I actually recently found out. The car as standard does come with keyless start. So this particular car is a premium model. And as you can see here, I'll just pop it out actually for you to see. You have an engine start stop button. So this does come as standard on the car. So just to confirm, even if you get the premium pack, it comes with keyless start. That doesn't mean it comes with keyless go. Those two are slightly different things. So on the keyless go, basically what that will mean is that when you come up to the car, you can unlock the car with just a key in your pocket, and then when you walk away, you can just press the button on the handle, and then that will allow you to lock the car. I have shown that in previous videos, which is actually on our C-Class Coupe video if you want to check out how that works. Let's go through the actual main dash itself then. So we have the radio button, which allows you to scroll through all of the different radio options on the car. Again, you do have a normal radio, but you also have a DAB radio on the car. So that can be chosen between AM or FM DAB radio. Has media options, again quite similar actually to the other Mercedes-Benz which we've reviewed before. You have 2 USB connectors in the armrest, which allows you to plug in such things as an iPhone or an iPod, or if you have a little USB device with music on which you save from your computer. Bluetooth audio, which is a great one because my iPhone cable keeps on breaking. No negativity whatsoever towards iPhone cables, that's me who's constantly breaking my cable. So it allows me to Bluetooth stream the music wirelessly without having to plug it in. You've also then got your CD, and also we have the option to buy a memory card from, of course, our parts department if you'd like to get one, where again you can download music onto the SD card, pop it into the car and then play the music that way. So lots of different options. We of course then have got your phone. As I said, I know we've done this on all the other videos, but I think it's a really important part of when you get your new car, especially from a safety point of view, because I want you all to be nice and legal when you're driving. I've also always done it on an iPhone. Now I've actually got 2 phones. I've got a Samsung as well, which is my work phone. I've actually smashed my iPhone screen to bits, so I won't be showing you on that phone, so this is working out quite well. But I thought it'd be a good idea to show you how to do it on an Android device rather than the usual iPhone. So on the screen, you go to you set the same place. Click Tell on the dash, you go to Connect Device on the top, and then you go for Search for Phones. Now before you go to Search for Phones, on an Android device you need to go to Settings, and you need to go to Bluetooth, and then you need to make sure that the phone is visible, because on most phones actually always isn't. And I'm going to do Search for Phones. So it's searching now, it's come up literally within seconds. Rebecca Sides, there we go. So it's searching now. Please wait a couple of seconds. And then it will come up with a Bluetooth pairing request, and it will do the same on the car. So I'm going to click yes on the car and OK on my phone. Now something which I've forgotten to do when I've set up a phone before is it now comes up with another further 2 messages. The first one is basically asking you to see if it wants to allow your messages to automatically route through to the car. And then the second thing that it wants you to do is to see if it will allow you to access your contacts. Now if you don't access this, it won't pull through your phone book, so just double check that you've got that check, because a lot of customers that take delivery of cars off me say it hasn't pulled through my phone book, it's not bringing through my messages. So if you click there, do not show again, and then allow, and then it will actually come up now with another message. Here we go, access to messages, do not show again, and allow. And there we go. So now we're fully set up now, nice and safe for when you're driving along. So once you're set up, if you have any incoming calls coming through, the car will start to ring itself. You can answer in a number of ways. You can, okay, there we go, that's actually worked right on cue. So of course you can answer here with the green button, you can put down here with the red button, or on the steering wheel, but as soon as I'm filming with you lovely people, they can go away for now. Navigation. It's a full European sat-nav, which I think is great, so you can go from Birmingham to the Vatican, wherever you want to go. It's a full digit postcode, which I think is really, really important. And again, I'll show you how to enter a destination later on. Something we have covered before, but I think really important. The mute button. Now, this is something which I think is a really little good tip. When you buy your car and when you take delivery of your new Mercedes-Benz, at the top it will say, I'll show you actually rather than telling you, I'll press and hold the mute button and you'll see there TA, which basically means that your traffic announcements will come on when you're driving. Now for some people they like those, some people they don't, and they're quite annoying when you're driving, singing along like me. So in order to turn those off, you just press and hold the mute button, the car will beep and they'll go off, or if you press and hold again, and there you go, they're back on. So a little tip there for you from a bit of insider knowledge. Coming to the settings button here, this is where I mentioned before about how you can change the interior ambient lighting in the car. So if you go to vehicle settings, let's just scroll along. There we go, ambient lighting colour. And I mentioned that there is a blue, a yellow or a white, and they're actually called solar, polar and neutral, not my rubbish example of colour names, but as I mentioned, if you turn off that interior lighting colour, they won't come on, so just bear that in mind. So I'll just leave that on neutral for now. I also mentioned about when you get in the car, you can have the interior lights stay on. Now that's actually in the settings in this section here, so you can have it leaving on for up to, if you want, 60 seconds. So say you've got children and when you get in the car you want to be able to get their car seats locked, their belts locked and things, you can actually have that on for up to 60 seconds. Or if you want for as minimal as nothing, you can actually turn that off completely. Lots of different things there that you can change within the settings. If you have any particular questions or anything you'd like me to talk you through, just drop us a comment below and we can add on those answers for you. Coming down a little bit further, this is something that I haven't shown on a video before, but I think is important to note. So on the car at the moment, I've got the windows down and I've got the sunroof open. Now you can see here there's a button which looks like a picture of the car with a little arrow rotating in it. Now that effectively means if you just press it once that the air will circulate within the vehicle. However, if you press and hold the button, it will close all of the windows and the sunroof within the car. And then what you can do is, say for example you're driving through a tunnel and you just want the air to circulate within, that will mean now the air will circulate and all your windows will close. But then when you drive out of the tunnel or out of the area that's smelly, if you press and hold that button again, and then your windows and your roof will go back to exactly where they were. So that's a good one. Say you've got children in the car who are asleep or passengers in the back who are asleep and you just want to open those windows back to where they were without disturbing them, just press and hold that button there, and that's a nice little feature. As you can see, dual climate control. Again, you can be controlled passenger and driver to suit individually. You've got the same kind of buttons again that we've talked through on other videos. Temperature control, how fast you want it to blow, you can increase or decrease. This here is the trajectory of where you want the wind flow to go. Of course, your rear view window if it's icy and cold, your front window, and your AC rest. A button here which isn't on all of the cars, so I will mention that today, is the zone button. So if the zone light isn't on, so if it's just zone with no red light above it, that means that the driver controls the temperature for the passenger and the driver. But if you press the zone button, it means now that I'm just zoned to my area here. I'm just controlling my zone, and then the passenger can control their own. So if you're a husband and wife who one's always hot and one's always cold, then that means you can easily sort that out without any arguments. So I'm also giving you some lovely marriage counselling there as well. Coming up a little bit higher, again, these buttons are featured on a lot of our videos. We've got the heated seats for the driver and the passenger. Some options which you can add on to this, you can actually see here there's some blank buttons here. The car that I'm currently driving is a GLE, but it's a GLE 500e, so it's an electric car, which is absolutely fantastic. Again, any questions, drop us a comment below. But what that also has is it's a Designo line. So just to confirm, in the GLE range, there's a GLE Sport, a GLE AMG line, which is this particular one, and then there's a GLE Designo line, which is a top of the range car and has a few more extras on it. Extras which come on that car are a heated steering wheel, which are fantastic for the winter weather. You also get a cooling and a heating cup holder, so if you're getting your coffee in the morning, you want to keep it warm, or if you've got your water, you want to keep it cool. That's absolutely fantastic, a feature which I really like. It's also got the best thing ever, massaging seats for the driver and the passenger. And also what it has is say it properly, it's got cooling seats. I think it's called auto climate controlled seats. So next to the heated seats button, you have another button, very similar to this one, but it's got some blue lights on this time instead, which means that you can actually cool your seats. So in the warm weather, when the leather gets really hot, you can actually cool it to have the leather nice and cool when you're in the car. So there's some other buttons that you could have up here. Your parking sensors button, this is one which I think is quite useful. If you're going through an area where there's a lot of people, say you've been to a football match or something, if you press that button, it actually turns the parking sensors off. It's not beeping at you all the time. Here is the button for your automatic start-stop. Now, some people like this and some people don't. I'm just used to it now, to be honest, but I still get drivers now, even though start-stop's been out for years, where they say, oh, where's the button to turn it off? Where's the button to turn it off? they don't like it at all. So if you do want to, at the moment when you get to traffic lights and you put your foot on the brake, then the car will automatically engine shut down when the green light's on. It's saving fuel, it's better for the environment, it's better for you as well in terms of your costs of using the car, because of course you're using less fuel. But if you really don't like it and it's not one for you, if you press the button there, the green light will go off and then that will not do the automatic start-stop. However, when you turn the car off and then restart it again, it will automatically default to coming back on. I think that's most of the things on the dash, so let's take you to the next section of the video. In terms of setting a destination on the sat-nav, we've been through this again on other videos, so I thought I'd just show a couple of different options that you can do on the sat-nav. As I've mentioned, it's full European, full postcode. In order to enter a destination, you go to destination on the screen itself, press enter, and you can go to address entry, keyword search. Once you've used the sat-nav before, you can of course go to last destinations. What I wanted to show us today was how to do it from a point of interest. So you can go for supermarkets, you can go for petrol stations, you can go for cinemas, all different kind of things. On this example, I'm going to show from our current position, which we've got here, current position, and then I'm also going to look for a fuel station. So this car's got a fuel in it, so if I was to drive it out now, I'd need to fuel it. So I'm going to scroll down to automotive, and then I'm going to scroll down to filling station. Now if you've got, say for example, you're a company car driver and you have a fuel card that only works in a Shell petrol station, you can scroll down to Shell if you want to, but in this example I'm just going to search for any filling stations which are in area. Just going to click enter now, and they all come up really quickly, showing the closest one is 1.4 miles away, Texaco or Asda. So that's just another option of something that you can do on your sat-nav if you so wanted to. But as you can see, the list is really vast. Got bars and restaurants, health, shopping, sports and leisure, transport if you're looking for an airport or anything like that. So there really is lots of different options of how to use the sat-nav rather than just inputting a postcode. Something we haven't spoken about before on any of the cars is the glove box. Now just a quick one on the key. I have mentioned this before though, so sorry I'm duplicating. As you can see, you slide the little grey lever across at the top of the key, just so you can see that there, and the blade will come out. That means that you can lock the glove box if you leave anything in particular in there at night or etc. You can lock the glove box just for extra safety if you want to. But then just something about the inside of the glove box. At the top of the glove box here, you can see a little dial. Now when the engine's on, you can turn this little dial clockwise or anti-clockwise like this. And in turning the dial, what you'll feel is actually cold air blowing out of it. So what that means is it's actually a cooling glove box. So if you want to, you can leave sandwiches or a drink or something in there, and it'll keep them nice and cool on a hot day if you're driving along, just by using that little vent there at the top of the glove box. So a little tip there which I haven't told you about before. One of the main reasons why people buy an SUV like this is so that they can go off-road, or so that they will fit all of their particular driver needs that they may have. So I want to talk you through all the different styles of driving that you have on this particular car. So there's a dial just to the left of the main dashboard console, and it's got a number of different options on there in terms of how the car will actually drive. So at the moment you can see there's individual, which is highlighted, and there's a little red light down by there as well. The individual basically means that you can use the paddles on the steering wheel in order to deselect or select your gears. So to go up a gear, you press the button on the right hand side, the paddle here, and to go down a gear, you press the left hand paddle here. A lot of people like that kind of driving if they live on a windy lane or country roads. It's a really good way of being able to actually really control the gears and the gear shifts through the drive. The next button that we have is Sport. Now what this does is it starts off in first gear, so when you accelerate, of course it's an automatic gearbox, but it will start off in first gear, go through the different gears, your revs are higher, so it's a much faster drive, and also your suspension will lower. If you go into comfort, the suspension will go slightly higher on the car. It will actually take off in second gear, so that means that when you start driving the car, what will happen is that the car will start off in a slightly higher gear in order to save you some fuel. It's a much more fuel efficient way of driving the car, but it's not as sporty, not as fast as the Sport one which I've just mentioned. The next button here, as you can see, there's a little snowflake by there. What that actually is it's for slippery driving conditions such as snow, wet, etc. And what that does is it automatically configures the suspension on the vehicle to be able to accommodate that kind of driving. The next one that we have actually here is off-road. So of course this is an SUV, it's a GLE, it's built for off-road driving, and I don't think we actually get to appreciate what this car is actually capable of unless we take it to a full off-road facility, which we were actually hoping to do for this video, but that's going to come on another one. So a little tip there on something that we've got coming through. What this does now is, again, it completely alters the suspension on the car so it knows how to adapt for off-road. So if you were going to say a very rocky piece of land, or if there was a muddy piece of land, if you press that button there, and it will automatically configure the suspension on the vehicle to be able to accommodate that kind of driving for you. Just up here, a couple more buttons that we have here. This one, DSR, this is a really important one. It's called downhill speed regulation. That's what it stands for. One of my team actually calls this the electric parachute. What effectively this does is, it means that if you're going downhill whilst driving, you can take your foot off the brake and off the accelerator, and it will actually configure the speed of the car going down the hill. So it does it automatically for you. Again, it acts like this electric parachute in a way. If you imagine a parachute behind the back of the car, making sure that it's protecting the car as it's going downhill, that's effectively how that operates. If you want, by the way, any more information on any of these things, this video is just an information video to give you advice on what the different buttons mean. By no way is this a full explanation of all of the different features on this car, and also by no way is this showing you all the capacity of what these different features do. So if you have any questions in particular reference to any of these certain things, please comment below and we can make sure that we get back in touch with you to explain in detail. One of the other main reasons people buy a GLE or a car of this size is because of the capacity in the boot. So let's go and have a look at how much space this car has actually got. The seats folded down, just look at the space, all 690 litres worth, and even I fit in. As you can see, the car is a 5-door car with 5 seats. So as standard, you've got 2 in the front and 3 in the back. Now, one of the best features about this car is the split folding seats. So if you, for example, on a trip to IKEA, getting some flat pack, you can fold just half of the seats down and still have a child in the back and the mum and dad in the front. Or of course you can do the alternative and have 2 seats on the right and 1 just on the left here. It's so easy to fold the seats down. So basically, when the car's in this position, you have a little black lever here to pull up the base, really nice and easy. And then there's a little paddle here at the bottom of the seat. You pull that up and it literally just flicks down. It's that easy. In order to put them back up, a quick push and it'll go back up, and then again, base back down, and it really is that easy. It's not cumbersome, it's really nice and swift, the movement, and really easy if you're unloading and unloading the car frequently. We spent quite a bit of time in the front of the car, so just to go through a few things from the back. In terms of the actual parcel shelf itself, this is fully removable, really easy to pop in and out. So at the moment, as you can see, it's been removed just to show you all of the space, but in terms of popping it back in, make sure I do this in one take. It literally just clips in as easy as that. And then of course the parcel shelf can be pulled, hooks in to cover any load that you may have hidden in, and then quick pull and it automatically slides back in. A few more things about the boot just whilst I'm standing here. So in the rear, the car will come as standard with the first aid kit if you need anything, hopefully not for that reason. You've also got in the back a 12-volt adapter, which is just here if you need to charge anything while you're in the car. Just coming over to the left-hand side, the car will of course come with handbook and wallet, so all of those features which I explained before in the front of the car, this is your Bible if you want to learn anything more in detail. And also a nice little nifty one, you've got here a concealed bag hook, and then finally under the floor of the boot, lift the silver handle, and you've got under there a space saver wheel, maximum of 50 miles per hour. You've also got your warning triangle, etc. So just to finish on the boot area, the car comes as standard with the automatic boot close. Just press the button up here and there we go, nice and smooth, and we're closed. The GLE really is an off-road machine. The true size and capabilities of this car are so hard to demonstrate though within a showroom environment, which is why Mercedes-Benz World in Surrey offers you the chance to have a full off-road experience in one of these cars or one of its sister cars, the GLE Coupe or the GLS, which is our other SUV cars, in order to fully demonstrate and understand exactly what these cars can do. First of all, before I go any further, I wanted to say a huge thank you to all of our new subscribers on our YouTube channel. Without all of you subscribing and without all of the likes and all of the comments and all of the views, which have now gone over 1 million views, thank you so much. We wouldn't be able to continue with these videos. Also, a huge thank you for everyone that's followed me on social media. I love hearing all of your comments. I really want to be interactive with all of the viewers that we've got. So if you've got any questions, any particular car you want to see, anything that you want to ask us about the brand, anything about any new models that we've coming out, we might get the insider knowledge before that you do. As always, please make sure to like, share, and of course subscribe, and we'll be seeing you soon in the next installment of our videos. Take care now and goodbye.